We're kicking off today with WrestleMania 41 as WWE's biggest show of the year is just 2 weeks away, but it'll sadly go on ahead without Kevin Owens. The 10 p.m. hour kicked off with Nick Aldis speaking about how injuries can come from out of nowhere before Owens would make his way to the ring. Owens confirmed the online rumors and speculation, revealing that he's hurt and is dealing with a neck injury for the past 4 months. He said that now that he and doctors know how serious the injury is, he needs to take time off for surgery, and Nick Aldis acknowledged that this is an injury Owens may not come back from. Owens said that not competing at WrestleMania, where he was due to compete against Randy Orton, really sucks, and that he's learned not to take anything for granted in wrestling. Orton would come out, and for a moment, fans hoped that this injury was just a work ahead of their WrestleMania match, but Owens simply left without attacking the Viper. That seemed to confirm that he is genuinely hurt, but as he went to leave, Owens seemingly got into an argument with a fan, and WWE's cameras would quickly cut away from the scene. It's unclear what was said, but it clearly angered Owens, and WWE would then focus on Orton in the ring in an awkward production edit in what was already an emotionally charged segment. Nick Aldis would share the unfortunate news to Orton that with Owens out, the Viper does not have a WrestleMania match, but the SmackDown GM ate an RKO for his troubles. The idea of Orton not having a match at this year's show is shocking, and who would you like to see face Randy Orton in Vegas? Perhaps The Miz? Or a returning Aleister Black instead? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section, and share your messages for Kevin Owens, as we at Slatrock are wishing him the very best on his recovery. SmackDown was in Chicago, so it was fitting that CM Punk kicked off the show and the fans were chanting his name even before his music hit. Punk soaked in the crowd's reaction, visibly enjoying the moment, and praised the Chicago audience's energy following a run of hot crowds in Europe. Punk delivered a great promo about people telling him he didn't belong, before adding that the hard work begins now as he prepares for the huge opportunity awaiting him later this month. Punk thanked his wife and even got a chant going for his dog Larry, and appreciated the Chicago fans that have stuck by him as he's worked his way to the main event of WrestleMania. Paul Heyman came out to hype Punk before asking what favor Punk wanted, but Punk said he'd tell Roman Reigns directly and left the ring, awaiting the arrival of the OTC. There was a fun and spontaneous moment between the two when fans chanted ECW for Heyman, and Punk joked that his friend can't escape his extreme past in Philadelphia. This was a strong opening segment thanks largely to the electric Chicago crowd, and while Punk and Heyman held their own, it was the fans who truly took this to another level. Paul Heyman would later admit that whatever favor Punk wanted, the answer would be yes, and in the parking lot was seen welcoming a truck he believed held Roman Reigns. Instead, it was Seth Rollins who emerged from the vehicle and was delighted to see Paul, and could this be a tease that Heyman will ditch both Reigns and Punk for Rollins in Vegas? The closing segment of the show saw Rollins appear first, frustrating Reigns, and CM Punk would make his entrance and once again get a thunderous ovation. Reigns would then arrive on SmackDown, and the OTC walked straight to the ring and instead of his usual lengthy entrance, showing that this was a matter of the utmost seriousness for him. After months of build, Punk revealed the favor. He wants Heyman in his corner at WrestleMania, not Reigns, and while Reigns mocked the mere idea, Heyman said he couldn't turn Punk down. Heyman had to say no to his tribal chief, and just when it looked like Roman was going to attack his wise man, CM Punk added injury to insult by hitting Reigns with GTS to end the show. This was a segment packed with drama and tension, and while we now know that Heyman will join Punk at WrestleMania, questions remain as to Paul's status with the tribal chief. But what did you think of this segment? Was the reveal of the favor first teased in November of last year worth it to you? Share your thoughts down in the comments section below. Now, during his opening promo, CM Punk wanted to show who he feels are the best, loudest fans in the world, and grabbed a camera to give fans what commentary dubbed Punk Cam. This was a fun moment, and the crowd in Chicago were certainly hyped that Punk was putting the camera on them, but did CM Punk have an ulterior motive with this move? On social media, some questioned if Punk's camera operating, which showed the side where the Hardcam is, was a dig at his former employers at AEW. Punk's camera showed that the Hardcam side, which typically isn't shown on TV, was packed with fans, and one fan on Twitter said that Punk was subtly cooking AEW. It's no secret that AEW has struggled to fill arenas, leading to the Hardcam side often being close to empty, and on Twitter, several fans argued that this was a dig at AEW. One fan said that Tony Khan had a gun fumbled things, while another said that they thought the same when they saw Punk pay attention to the packed crowd attending SmackDown. Another fan recalled their experience at Dynamite Rampage tapings a few years ago, saying it was so sad to see the Hardcam side being so empty, and added that the place was dead. Punk has had some notable comments about AEW since his exit, claiming last year that Tony Khan was not a real boss with how he conducts himself. But what do you think? Was Punk sticking it to AEW and their struggles to fill venues, or are fans reading too much into things? Share your thoughts and feedback down in the comments. NXT's Nathan Frazer made a surprise appearance to face the debuting Rey Fenix, with commentary highlighting how Fenix's brother Penta has proven to be an immediate hit on Raw. The match began with a technical exchange ending in a stalemate, but Fenix quickly took control and played to the crowd, who were delighted to see him. Frazer is one of the fastest in WWE, as seen in his time in NXT, and he certainly brought the speed to SmackDown, resulting in a fast-paced match that highlighted both superstars. There were, however, a couple of missteps, and at one point, Frazer got hung up during a dive to the outside and almost had a horrible landing. Despite some slight mistakes, likely due to just how fast the pair were moving, the momentum never faltered before Fenix got the win. This was more competitive than one may have first expected, but ultimately worked in its favor, as Fenix proved he can keep up with one of the fastest high flyers competing today. After getting the win, Fenix was visibly emotional, a sign of just how much winning his WWE debut and making it to WWE has meant for the former AEW star. Frazer was a great choice not only for his speed, but it continues his story in NXT, as he was unhappy that Axiom faced Gunther on SmackDown in Barcelona without him by his side. Now Frazer is the one going solo, and like Axiom, came up short, and one has to imagine that this is something that Fraxiom will bring up during an upcoming NXT. In a post-match promo, Rey Fenix expressed his passion for wrestling and ended by saying that he's waited his entire life to say that he is part of WWE. WWE wasted no time in releasing merch, including a shirt and a mask for Rey Fenix, and in a backstage segment, Berto was unimpressed, calling Rey Fenix a flying lizard. Clearly, WWE is setting up Berto to be the next challenger for Rey Fenix, and with Berto typically being followed by Angel and Santos Escobar, perhaps Fenix will need his brother to back him up. What did you make of the WWE in-ring debut of Rey Fenix? Should he be reunited with Penta already, or should the two remain separate for the time being? Let us know in the comments. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton had an in-ring interview with Wade Barrett, and Flair was getting so much heat that she had to yell to be heard. If we had to pick a winner in this one, it felt like Stratton came out on top, a much-needed victory for her after Charlotte got the better of her during their previous segment. The pair held nothing back in this week's segment, though, as Flair said that she picked Stratton for WrestleMania in an act of charity and wanted to show that there's no comparison between them. Stratton bit back, saying that Stratton's biggest competitor has always been the fans, and said that no matter what, Charlotte will always come second to her father. Stratton then went even further, telling Charlotte that outside the ring, you ain't the queen of before taking a swing at Flair's recent divorce to Andrade. The women's champion said that at WrestleMania, Flair will be just like you are outside of the ring, alone, before giving Flair's marriages a score, saying the queen is 0-3. Charlotte tried to come back by suggesting that Tiffany's boyfriend Ludwig Kaiser is in her DMs, but that didn't seem to faze Stratton, who left and posed for the Chicago crowd. This was a segment that definitely saw escalation, and if this felt different to what you usually see from WWE segments, there's a reason for that. According to WrestleVotes, Charlotte and Tiffany said very little of what was prepared for them in the rundown, as the pair went off script by a considerable margin. It's unclear if either woman will face any sort of punishment for going off script, especially in the midst of WrestleMania season, but some comments certainly proved to go too far for WWE. In a telling move, WWE has deleted a clip of Stratton cutting the line about Flair's divorces from its Twitter account, and Flair's comment about Ludwig Kaiser is also nowhere to be seen. While WWE may not have been fans of these comments, these lines have since gone viral online, adding some much-needed heat to this WrestleMania feud. But what do you think? Did Stratton and Flair go too far? Should they be punished for going off script in this way, or was it all worth it on SmackDown? Let us know in the comments. Hall of Fame news now, as recently it was reported that Ken Shamrock had been discussed for this year's Hall of Fame, and that Kamala was also expected to be inducted. Less than 2 weeks ahead of the ceremony, though, neither has been announced, and now more has come to light about plans, or lack thereof, for both wrestlers. Speaking to 10 Count Media, Shamrock said he has no knowledge about being inducted this year, and clarified that nobody has called him with an offer for the honor. Shamrock recalled thinking about an induction when WWE was in Los Angeles for WrestleMania 39, but outside of that, he hasn't spoken about it with WWE, and nobody has reached out. As an Intercontinental Champion, Tag Champion, and 1998 King of the Ring, Ken has certainly earned an induction, making the fact that WWE hasn't even spoken to him a strange call. As for Kamala, WrestleVotes now reports that the Ugandan Giant will not posthumously be inducted this year, but that discussions between WWE and his family remain positive. The belief is that Kamala, real name James Harris, will be inducted in the future, but that 2025 just was not the year for the late wrestler. This year's class already has Triple H, Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, The Natural Disasters, and the first ever Immortal Moment, and while Ken and Kamala deserve a nod, it won't be this year. Ahead of NXT Roadblock, reports surfaced that Giulia was dealing with injuries, and while WWE never publicly confirmed this, they rushed her into a title-for-title match with Stephanie Vecchia. Giulia hasn't appeared for WWE since her loss to Vecchia at Roadblock, another sign of these reported injuries, but now the beautiful madness is all healed up. At the April 4th NXT Live event in Crystal River, Florida, Giulia made her return to the ring and would earn a victory over Ariana Grace. This return to the ring comes after Giulia appeared at the March 22nd event where she confronted Cora Jade, and with her first match back, attention turns to when she'll return to TV. Giulia has quickly established herself as a top name in NXT since arriving in WWE last year, and as Stand and Deliver draws near, don't be surprised if the Japanese superstar is on the card. Earlier this month, it was reported that Miro had re-signed with WWE and was on his way back to the promotion, and he had even been spotted at WWE headquarters in Connecticut. Well, now we know much more about what Miro did at WWE HQ, as PW Insider reports that the former AEW star had multiple meetings with various officials to prepare for his future. Miro also took part in a full photo shoot for material to promote his return, and that his time at WWE headquarters was an all-day matter for the Bulgarian superstar. No confirmation was given when fans can expect Miro/Rusev back on WWE programming, but multiple sources have said that he's back in the mix and a comeback will come in the near future. As we've seen in the past, the post-WrestleMania Raw and SmackDowns are often when shocking returns happen, meaning Miro's comeback may be mere weeks away. Miro was with AEW from 2020 to 2025, but many feel he was never used to his fullest potential, and now the Bulgarian has another shot to reach the very top of WWE. Back to SmackDown, as there was another tease for the person suspected to be Aleister Black, and there was an image of a skull with coins in the eye sockets. This is a burial tradition dating back to ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and there was another tease of the number 4 in Roman numerals, this time surrounded by fire. There was an interesting image that looked like it could contain the letter A, further fueling the theory that this was hyping the return of Aleister Black after years away from the WWE stage. Previous teases have hinted that if this is Black, he will return on April 25, the first SmackDown after WrestleMania, though as always, plans are subject to change within WWE. Are these teases for Aleister Black, or could it be somebody other than the former AEW star? Share your predictions in the comments. Tonga returned to singles action, taking on US champion LA Knight, and while Knight had early control, Tonga shifted momentum by sending him into the turnbuckle. Solo Sikoa later provided a distraction that let Tonga toss Knight into the announce table before the commercial break, and leaving Knight on the defensive. The second half was evenly matched, but Knight pulled off the win and exited quickly to avoid an ambush from Sikoa, wise to the tricks of the new Bloodline. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin faced Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for a shot at the Street Profits tag titles, and the champs kept a close eye on things at ringside. Sabin and Ciampa kicked things off with frequent double-team action, and given the talents, it's no surprise that this was an entertaining match. An exposed turnbuckle ended up costing Ciampa, who crashed into it before Sabin rolled him up for the win, putting the Motor City Machine Guns next in line for a title shot. Drew McIntyre, eye patch and all, cut an impassioned promo about Damian Priest and the attack in the parking lot, saying he'll need to pray after suffering an eye injury. In a nod to his comment following CM Punk's injury, McIntyre reminded fans that when he prays, bad things happen, further sowing the seeds for a war at WrestleMania. Michin accompanied B-Fab to the ring but didn't stay for a match against Naomi, and it was the Glow who'd be attacked by Jade Cargill during her entrance. Despite Naomi getting a taste of her own medicine, the match went ahead, and while B-Fab took advantage of the situation, Naomi rallied to get the win. While having B-Fab fail to win against an already attacked Naomi does her no favors, Nick Aldis would arrive after the match and book Naomi vs. Jade at WrestleMania. This will mark the first singles match in WrestleMania history to be without a title on the line and without a stipulation, and will give the pair a huge opportunity in Las Vegas this month. In the final match of the night, Jacob Fatu got a win in a last man standing match against Braun Strowman, earning himself a shot at LA Knight's US title in the process. There was a moment where it appeared that Braun hit a chair shot to the face of Fatu, a shocking moment considering WWE's stance on shots to the head due to concussions. Fatu ultimately won by putting Strowman through a table in the ring and standing in the count of 9, and Strowman was just rising when the referee hit 10. Fatu's title opportunity will come at WrestleMania, and given the run he's been on since arriving in WWE, it wouldn't be a surprise if he leaves his WrestleMania debut as US champion. Do you think Fatu should win the gold in 2 weeks at Allegiant Stadium, or is it too soon to take the title off Knight and cut his second reign short? Let us know down in the comments. Speaking of WrestleMania plans, Nick Aldis announced a gauntlet match for next week's show where the winners will earn a women's tag title opportunity at WrestleMania 41. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter will face Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, the Pure Fusion Collective, Michin and Mia Yim, the Secret Hervis, and the team of Maxine Dupree and Natalia. The announcement practically guarantees that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez will walk into WrestleMania with the gold, but who will they be facing? Fans will have to wait to find out. And that was this week's SmackDown, and what did you make of the show? Do you think CM Punk's favor reveal was worth it in the end? Let us know your thoughts on the show below. And we're ending today with more from this week's SmackDown, as the excitement in Chicago didn't stop when the show went off the air. While Cody Rhodes didn't appear in person on the show, the undisputed WWE Champion was in action after the event as he took on Solo Sikoa. Frustrated by being unable to put Cody away, Solo brought a chair into the ring, and when the ref grabbed it and discarded it, Sikoa hit a low blow on his nemesis. Rhodes was able to get the win with 3 crossroads and got a promo after the match before giving away a signed weight belt, ending an exciting night for the fans in the Windy City.